Also, if you're looking at getting bigger, realize it's healthier to be 160 with abs and shredded I pretty much guarantee you girls as a whole love that more. Boom! Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and click on the link in the description box below to sign up for the Tiger Fitness newsletter. Within a week of publishing this video, we will give out a $50 gift card to tigerfitness.com to one lucky person who does all of these steps. Boom! What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, tigerfitness.com, CEO, MTS Nutrition. Guys, there's been a couple things that have gone on in the bodybuilding world, and I thought I'd address the healthiness of bodybuilding and the health ramifications, risks, and also the benefits of being involved in bodybuilding and exercise in general. Now, we've had some unfortunate events, both not directly tied to bodybuilding. Number one is Rich Piana. He fell down and hit his head, and he is currently in a coma. All our prayers go out to him. We obviously want the best for Rich and his family. And also just this week, Dallas McCarver passed away from choking. Asphyxiation on food is what the word is about why he passed away. And that's a shame. Has nothing to do with their size, but it brings up a lot of things about bodybuilding. The first thing that happened online is the internet doctors, the armchair MDs came in and said, hey, look, it's because they're too big. Their heart exploded, heart attack, stroke, this and that. And honestly, coming to that conclusion, you can't really fault them. And here's the reason. It's just really not healthy to be big. Whether it's obesity or muscle, your body still has to pump to those muscles. Your heart still has to pump blood to those muscles, okay? So you get to a point where your organs, your heart is stuck, still has to sustain all that tissue, be it muscle or fat. Now, there are some supplements you can take. For example, the first link you see in the description box below is top 5 health supplements, things like nectar and machine greens. But let's be real here. If you weigh 300 pounds, they'll help, but they're not going to save your life. They're not going to completely mediate all the stress you're putting on your body by being large. Now, the thing is, when kids get into bodybuilding, the goal is bigger, 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 bigger. A lot of people, even with steroids, can't get that big. Dallas McCarver, Rich Piana are just large, genetically blessed individuals to get that large. Now, the thing is, being too big is not easy to do. Being big, lean, and muscular like Dallas and Rich is not easy to do. Don't just wake up one morning and go, I don't want to get too big. No, these guys dedicated every bite of food, every weight lifted, everything they did to getting that big. That was probably like their profession, right? That's what they did. So the average Joe doesn't have to worry about it. However, when you get into anabolics, a lot of people can put on more size they were naturally able to attain. Okay, so that puts a lot of stress on your body. The bottom line is your heart has to work harder, regardless of if that weight was naturally obtained, if that weight was obtained via steroid use, or if that weight is fat. The bottom line is you have to sustain it. Also, as you get older, for example, I'm 36, I'm slowing it down a pace, and I wouldn't mind losing 10 to 15 pounds, whether it's muscle or fat, so be it. Right now I'm at 230 pounds. I was at 240 pounds. Dude, the older you get, the more wear and tear it is on your knees, your hips, lifting heavy weights, your elbows, your shoulders. It's kind of like a car. A car only has a certain amount of mileage before the engine parts start to wear and tear. Your joints, your tendons, same thing. Obviously, there's some genetic differences, but the more wear and tear you put on your body, I'm not saying it's not good to exercise, but when you're exercising at an extreme level, the level it takes to add lean muscle tissue, which is overloading your muscle, you're going to have some wear and tear. So that's something else to take into effect. And also the excess weight that your joints will have if you've put on a significant amount of muscle. Drugs. Steroids won't kill you. I haven't seen one directly correlated death with steroids. Like, hey, I injected too much testosterone and I died. However, things like insulin, DNP, which are bodybuilding drugs, can directly cause death in individuals. While steroids won't kill you, they do have deleterious effects on your body that can be factors in your demise or in your premature death. One is fatty acid, lipid profiles in your body, lower HDL, higher LDL, increase liver enzymes, things like that really put a strain on your body and make it so your body just cannot, handle all that because it's a lot of stress. And also if you do steroids for, let's say, 5 years and then you stop, who knows if that wear and tear on your liver, your kidneys took years off your life. I mean, we don't know. We have to assume that even an acute, defined, finite period of time where you were doing those activities, it had to have its effects. However, I will also state for the record, everything you do has some negative response to it. For example, no matter how many steroids you take, the hepatotoxicity of alcohol when taken in excess is tremendous. So I know guys will be like, well, what about alcohol? I agree. I'm just going over being big and steroid use in general. Benefits to training. Now, training doesn't necessarily have to be bad for you. Training is amazing for you. In fact, you can look at any diet, ketogenic, high carb, vegan, low carb, intermittent fasting. The only thing in common with everything I've read, there's some diets that show that cutting dietary fat is better for body composition than cutting carbohydrate. Some studies I read, ketogenic diets lower testosterone. Some diets I've read show that high carbohydrate diet increase the risk of diabetes, type 2 diabetes, syndrome X. The one thing they all agree upon, exercise is fucking awesome. The key is to temper it. How do you exercise? Well, you have to periodize. Learn something from powerlifters. They don't go at their 3 RM, 3 rep max. They don't do that every day. They periodize, they take time off, and if they're going for it, they take care of their body and make sure their joints are healed, taken care of. They're not always going all out. Whereas bodybuilders, we're always after that. More is better. We watch a training video with Kai Green, who has astounding genetics for recovery, and we're like, hey, I got to train as hard as Kai Green. There's no programming, there's no periodization, and that's where problems come about. So you need to temper your training. Also, be sure to add in some form of cardio. While weight training does elicit a lot of cardiovascular responses, there's also a place for cardiovascular training. One thing I always recommend is Tabata. If you search on YouTube, Tabata, Lobliner, you will see a bunch of different things. Essentially, you get 60 minutes worth of cardiovascular work for your heart and your system in 4 minutes. It's a tremendous way to train. Nothing's wrong with low intensity, steady state. Walk your dog, ride your bike. Do whatever you need to do, okay? Just make sure you stay active. Park further from the store in the parking lot. Keep your heart active. A lot of us have very, very sedentary jobs. Today's modern society, move as much as possible. Benefits of this are it's anti-diabetic. It has your heart health. It helps with the lipid profiles. Obviously, healthy diet, healthy exercise will lead to higher HDL, lower LDL, including cardiovascular activity, controlled blood pressure. Deadlifts and squats are not only great exercises, but also rehabilitative since they are a primal movement, which will, bending and squatting are both sexual and primal movements. So be sure to add these into your program. So the bottom line is, again, like I put a link below, there are supplements to help with this. Like for example, in Nectar, you have supplements like, red yeast rice extract, hawthorn berry milk thistle, all healthy for liver, kidneys, all that good stuff. You also have machine greens because obviously you want to get plenty of vegetables in your diet. But the bottom line is you need to look at your long-term health. And the bottom line is you need to look at something sustainable well into your 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. At 36 years old, I realized that my body can't take the constant pounding I'm putting on it day in and day out. So I'm tempering things because my thing's always been go hard or go home and all that good stuff. However, when your joints don't work and you're trying to run but your joints really hurt, playing a pickup soccer game, you realize maybe it's time to kind of back down and periodize a little bit and do that. Also, if you're looking at getting bigger, realize it's healthier to be 160 with abs and shredded I pretty much guarantee you girls as a whole love that more than trying to take steroids and overeat and be 260 to 270 pounds. I'm not saying, I know you YOLO guys, better live a day as a king than live a lifetime as a pawn or whatever the fuck y'all say. At the end of the day, I'm talking about overall health. Now, I know the lure of being big is there. I know that it's kind of cool to see that big guy in the gym. He looks larger than life. I remember looking at those guys when I trained at Gold's Venice as a teenager. I lived in that area. I went to Culver City High School, and I remember like, wow, that's remarkable. I remember the first time I saw Dorian Yates on the cover of Flex magazine. Bottom line is, a lot of these guys, I'd hate to point it out, but Ronnie Coleman was invincible. In fact, there was a video called The Invincible by Ronnie Coleman. His hips are gone. Like, Ronnie might never be able to walk again due to the intensity he trained at. Sure, he's the greatest of all time, but chances are your genetics aren't going to allow you to be Ronnie Coleman. So I suggest that you check yourself and make sure you stay within your means. Temper your training. A lot of people don't train hard enough. So for 95% of you watching, don't worry about it. A lot of your main issues is going to be consistency in the gym. That's not a shot at y'all. That's not a shot at my subscribers. That's just everybody. I mean, go to the gym. You'll only see about 5% of the gym actually moving some weight, actually training hard and not goofing around with their boys, talking to the girls, or checking their texts. All right? So be sure to temper that. You're not going to be Dorian Yates. You're not going to be Kai Green. Train to look your best. Train to be your best. Train to improve yourself and be the best you can be. Don't overgain. Don't think that being fat or over bulking is going to do anything for your gains. Keep your body fat to around 12 to 15% and maintain lean gains. And be healthy, do your cardio, eat your vegetables, and follow a great diet. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Again, prayers go out, but we had to address this because bodybuilding is not unhealthy. Bodybuilding is not unhealthy. Extreme things are unhealthy. Playing flag football with your kids is not unhealthy. Playing tackle football with 300-pound offensive linemen is extreme, it's unhealthy. Riding your skateboard down a flat road, not unhealthy, not dangerous. Taking your skateboard down a railing when you have no experience doing it, head first without a helmet, very, very, very dangerous. Bottom line is, don't always go for the extremes. Go for what works best for you. I'm Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com, because staying healthy and being the best you can be, that's not a game.